This is great. Pre-practice press conference. I guess it's always good to start out a day with two tombstones.
Yes, that's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. We're, it's kind of, again, it's really just a tradition that's been kind of neat to participate in, and obviously, Coach has had a lot of success over the years, and since my time, it's been fun to be a part of all of those. It's kind of neat to walk by and remember those moments, throughout the years. So. Appreciate our guys coming back. Everybody's excited about Pro Day tomorrow. Our guys will be amped up for that. Today's day 6 for us, and I was just telling the team, it seems like the season just finished, and now we're already day 6 of spring ball. So it goes really, really fast. But I really like what we've been able to get done these first 5 days. Been very physical. We've had a pretty good amount of installation, but we've really just tried to focus on, making sure these guys are learning how to do what we're asking them to do, and in all 3 phases. So today's another big day. We'll be very competitive. That's the other thing I like about how we practice. If you don't show up, you get exposed, because it's very competitive every single day. With how we practice. We did lose Adrian Baker towards ACL, and just like a lot of ACL injuries, non-contact, just planted, in one-on-ones, just planted. But we've already started that process of getting him back, and we're all hopeful that hopefully, the goal is sometime in September to get him back with us. But his attitude is good, and but you hate when young men have to deal with that type of adversity. But we've got a long line of guys that we can point to that, starting with Deshaun Watson, Sharon Pete, Tony Stewart, and so on and so on, and guys who've dealt with the same thing. So Adrian will attack his rehab like those guys, and have the same type of success. But outside of that, it's been good spring. We've had a couple of guys get a little dinged up. Caleb Chalmers, his shoulder, but he should be back here soon. Hopefully today we'll get through and not have any other issues. But we expect everybody back once we get back from spring break. And Wiggins won't do all the contact stuff, but he will be kind of mixed back in all the individual and stuff when we get back from spring break as well. So again, it's been a good 5 days, and anxious to see how they compete today. We had a half scrimmage on Monday. It was the first time we really just kind of let them play a little bit. It was controlled. We created situations, and we had not quite gotten everything, so we kind of controlled it. But it was good to see the guys just go out and play and see who's kind of getting it and who's still not quite there. And we'll continue that. So I think the break's coming at a good time after 6 days. We'll have meetings tomorrow, and these guys will be off next week, and hopefully they'll continue to study their notes and installation, and come back and be ready for a strong 3-week finish.
Dabo, the expectations that are being put on this offense already about what they might be able to accomplish next year, they haven't shied away from it, have they?
Well, I mean, they have their own high expectations. I don't think that anybody outside of our program has higher expectations than what these guys have for themselves. I mean, you got a lot of successful guys that are coming back, and a lot of guys that are driven and motivated and focused on being great, and that's a contagious thing. So I'm excited about having a guy like Deshaun Watson back. I'm excited to have Kelly and Nick that have more experience than they've ever had, and much more prepared to go compete. Ray's played. He's in the process of really developing. Hopefully Dion will be back at some point. And he's played now. This time last year he had not. Leggett's had the great experience. We got a lot of guys some experience in the offensive line. Getting Adam Choice back. Dahlman's rushed for 1,500 yards. Get Mike Williams back. So there's a lot of really good things. Artavis has had 2 great years for us. They should be have high expectations. But you know, potential, as I talked about, is one thing. Performance is what it's all about. And you know, I always tell these guys, last year's touchdowns aren't going to win this year. You got to go and you got to start over, and that's what we're in the process of doing. And everybody's got to prove it. You know, Deshaun Watson's got to prove every day that he's the best quarterback. Wayne's got to prove every day that he's the best running back. That's just the mentality that we try to create in our guys, and the sense of urgency that we bring to practice every day as coaches, because that's what it takes. You know, there's no complacency. You know, we're all focused on trying to get better. And, you know, I expect us to be, you know, a very good offense once again.
With Pro Day tomorrow, you got 3 guys that are potentially being talked about from the last year's defense being first-round picks. That's back-to-back years with multiple first-round picks in this defense. What does it say about how far this defense has come, what you guys have done on the defensive side of the football, and maybe the 3 guys that are being talked about specifically?
Well, I think first of all, we've recruited very well, and we've developed very well. I think that's really what it says. When I say recruited very well, it doesn't mean we've signed top-ranked classes or we've signed 5 stars. You know, Kevin Dodd was a star and a half, and he's one of those guys they're talking about. You know, Shaq was a pretty highly thought-of guy coming out of high school, and he's developed as well. And you know, obviously McKenzie is a kid coming out that was a 5-star guy that's developed too. So, you know, it's a totality of our program that I'm most proud of. And then I think it speaks to our defensive staff and the job that they do. I mean, they do a tremendous job, all those guys. And I'm really proud of the consistency that we've been able to create, you know, in our program. But you know, also defensively. And again, you know, Marion Hobby he could end up with 3 first-rounders in 2 years. And you know, really only one of those guys was considered a good defensive end prospect coming out of high school, and that's Shaq. You know, Vic was just an athlete, a tailback. Never played D-line ever, and Dodd was a guy that played very little football, and so you know, I think Marion Hobby is as good as it gets. And, you know, but it's fun to see those guys develop. They deserve a ton of credit as well, because you got to buy in and you got to be willing to put the work in. You got to be coachable. Sometimes you have to be patient, like a guy like Kevin Dodd, and really proud of him.
With Adrian Baker being injured, who do you see competing for that starting quarterback job opposite Tankerville?
Well, right now Mark Fields is our first guy, and he's having an excellent spring. He's a different guy right now. It's amazing what happens when, you know, sometimes some guys move on, and it's kind of all of a sudden you feel that sense of urgency of, hey, this is my opportunity. Plus, he just knows more. You know, he's been through a season, and you know, Mark Fields has a chance to be really, really special at that position. I mean, this kid has got everything that you need to be a great corner, and so far, I think he's putting the work in, and if he'll continue to do that, then the rest will take care of itself. You know, that's where it starts, Mark, and we're very confident in Ron Carter. We know he can play corner. We're really trying to teach him safety this spring to create a little more versatility within that back end with our veteran guys. But he can slide up there and win for us in corner, without a doubt. Marcus Edmond is another guy that I think showed a lot of improvement to us as coaches the last part of the season, especially in bowl practice. So he's getting that opportunity to continue to compete. And then Caleb Chalmers was off to a great start and hurt his shoulder, but he should be back. In fact, he'll be back in green today and should be full go when we get back after the break. Amir was another guy that was showing progress, broke a bone in his hand, but he'll be back going. He'll be clubbed up, and he'll be back going after the break as well. So we got several guys that you know, are showing they deserve opportunity.
When did Baker's injury occur?
The other day.